suspect!
Coming to get you, Bobber.
Hi guys, my name's Barry and welcome back to the channel. We've finally gotten to the end of this Halloween trilogy with Halloween Ends. Now this is going to be a non-spoiler review, so if you haven't seen the movie then it's safe to watch this review. I will be doing a full-on spoiler review after this one as well. So if you want to know more about the movie itself, or if you've seen the movie, then maybe watch the spoiler review. That's when I get into all the nitty-gritty. But this one's just going to be no spoilers, completely spoiler-free. The beginning of this film revolves around a character called Corey Cunningham. You might have heard us mention that name quite a few times. And Corey is a 21-year-old babysitter. He's got high hopes for going to college, and he's just doing babysitting just to get a bit of money behind him before he goes on and does something good with his life. However, there's an unfortunate accident at the beginning of this film involving the kid that he's babysitting, and that kind of sways his life and changes his life and turns it upside down, because a couple of years later, set in 2022, people don't really like Corey Cunningham because of what happened a few years ago, and he kind of gets picked on as well as this kind of town crazy person. And the only people that really understand Corey is Laurie Strode and Alison. And Alison, she kind of likes Corey, and I think Laurie knows this. She kind of tries to set them up together. And I think Alison's up for it because she sees Corey as being someone that can understand what she's going through, whereas she's also understanding what he's going through as well. Going around a small town like Haddonfield, being looked at, being pointed at and being spoken about. So I think they both kind of they're drawn towards each other because of both of their backstories. Meanwhile, while this is all going on with Corey and Alison, you've got Michael Myers lurking in the sewers. That's where he's been for the last 4 years, and he needs to try and build up his strength to come out again. Could be on Halloween, you never know, but he has to build up his strength again to come out and maybe start killing again. I'm going to start with some of the issues, and I think one of the biggest issues for Halloween Ends is it felt like two stories in one, and one of those stories was put on the back burner for most of the film. And that's where I had a problem with this movie overall. Now, the story that they gave us, or at least one of the stories that they gave us in this two-story movie, was good and it was intriguing. But I think the most important aspect of this film was left out. I don't know if that was intentional, but the most important part of this movie, without spoiling anything of course, was left until the finale of this film. And it kind of left a sour taste in my mouth. If we look at Michael Myers, he's also a character in here that just didn't do it for me. And you have to have a Michael Myers that does something for you. And it's obviously due to the story that they went with. But with this one, Michael Myers, there was something about it that just didn't connect with me. And also another negative that I have is the finale was just so short. Now, there was something after the big finale, but after what happened after the finale, I just didn't really care because of what happened in the finale. So a movie that's not a short film, but it felt like it dragged at times, but when it got to that finale, I wanted it to start building up, and then it kind of built up to nothing in the end. Now this is Halloween Ends, so it has to have that epic finale. And although the finale was good, you know, it was acceptable for some people, but to me, being Halloween Ends, being the finale of this David Gordon Green trilogy, I think the finale was a bit of a letdown. I'm going to talk about my positives. Now, I've got more positives that I want to talk about, but a lot of the positives will be in my spoiler review because I'm going to have to say a few things in that I did like. But I'm going to have to keep it minimalistic in this one. Now, first of all, it was beautifully shot again. I really do like that blue title that we got at the beginning of the film. It sort of reminded me of Halloween 4. The Return of Michael Myers, and that's what this kind of is. This is the return of Michael Myers after 4 years. So I don't know if that was intentional, but it was a nice touch. But other than that, it was beautifully shot. I think the best looking scenes in this film took place at the beginning of the movie when Corey was babysitting that little boy. That I liked the house. I just liked the look of everything in that scene. And moving on to another positive was Rohan Campbell, who played Corey Cunningham in this film. Now, I thought Corey Cunningham was going to be a main character, but I didn't think he was going to get as big a role as he did when I watched the film. Then when I found out throughout this film that he's going to be a mainstay in this movie, I got behind that character. And not only did I get behind the character, it was just so believable that I really loved Rohan Campbell's acting. So I think, if anything, out of all the acting in this movie, I think Corey was my favourite character. Laurie Strode in this film was surprisingly decent as well. Now with Laurie, she's always got this really cringy monologue in her movies, in her Halloween movies, and it takes me away from that character. It just makes me want to kill her myself. But in this one, she does have her monologues that she always has. However, she does it in this intentional way because she's writing her memoirs. So in this one, as she's writing her memoirs, she's talking to herself and we can hear her writing her memoirs. So they do it for good reason this time. So when I do hear those cringy lines, I accept it because I'm like, okay, she's writing her memoirs, I'll accept that. Other than the pros and the cons, I just believe that when I watched this film, it felt like a safe Halloween movie. You know, you get these movies in any franchises that they play it safe. And for a movie that has so many twists and turns in it that you may like and you may not like, when we talk about it in the spoiler review, at the end of it, when it goes up and down and up and down, at the very end, it still felt like it played a safe Halloween movie. And I don't mean just the storyline, I mean the acting, the character development, the way it was shot, the scenarios that they got themselves in, the locations of some of the scenes as well. Everything felt so safe, almost like they were scared to do something different in terms of how they execute things, not in terms of the story, because the story was definitely different, but everything else felt very safe. That might have been a good idea because of the way the story went, I don't know, but it just felt like a safe Halloween movie. Was it the finale that I was hoping for? No, it wasn't the finale I was hoping for, but there was something within that story that I really liked, and that's something I want to talk about in my spoiler review. But overall, guys, I think it was a good Halloween movie. Not the best, certainly not the worst. It's one of those middle of the road movies. I will rank it officially in a later video, but it just wasn't great, but it also wasn't bad. Anyway, guys, I know there wasn't a lot that I spoke about there. I will be doing that spoiler review, as I said. But leave your comments down below. Let me know if you've seen this movie and if you liked it or if you hated it. Try not to leave any spoilers in this video. You can talk about all the spoilers you want when you see the spoiler review, which will be up shortly after this one. And as always, guys, thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.